Hello. Hey, Ann. Sorry, I just popped in and out. I know I did. I'm sorry I'm late too. I know I'm late as crap. Saturdays are hard. I might think about I hate to switch it like I try to not make it too complicated. Like I want to be like 3 p.m. daily and then, the evening lives are 7 and 7:30. I don't want to have consistently late. Yeah, absolutely. I am like that with everything though. It's not even on purpose. Like, and the baby's sick. She's really sick, but she's just like, I don't know. She's like croupy, has allergies. I don't know. If she's not better, uh, you know, probably by this evening, we might take her to the doctor if she's not feeling better. But she seems to like, she was fine. Like, she runs around, uh, during the day like normal and stuff. But then she'll just get, I don't know. She's like tired. I don't know. I'm picky. I don't take my kids to the doctor unless if they're sick, because I don't know. You know, I don't want to get too much in how I feel about doctors, but I have my fancy copy here. I want to read out of, but I want to. Let me invite a few more people. Hold on. But I want to read what's up here. I still want to family Christmas party. Yeah, that's fine. What time do you need to leave so I can pay attention to the comments after you go? Give me a few minutes. I have a few more people I forgot to invite. Also late to shit, yeah. I am. I'm very bad. Like, and it seems like the more I know that I can't be late somewhere, like, certain doctors, like, you can go in there late, and then certain ones, like, you can't. Well, if I know that I can't, it seems like I'm later. The harder I try to be there on time, too, I feel like sometimes. Of one more person, guys. Okay, done. Yeah, me too. Like literally when I went on I think it was Thursday or Friday, maybe it was yesterday, I think that I had a doctor's appointment and I was like, "Oh, I have to go." Oh yeah, cuz I was on here and I was like, "Oh, I have to hurry up and go." And like I ran in and I was supposed to be there at 3. You're only allowed to be 15 minutes late. I got there at like 3:13 and the doctor and both of his like nurses were walking out of the back and then they're like, "Oh, they are here." I'm like, "Yeah." I knew they were mad, but I'm like, "Miss, I don't mean to. Like, I really don't mean to. It's so hard, especially to get out of the house. And then, like, I'll leave the house as, like, or like at the exact time that I have to be there on time. And then I'll be like, oh, I have to get gas or something. Like, that's my look. Well, I thought it was around that. Oh, here we go. Staying the course. Okay. Hi. If you want to come into a box, you can. I don't know where Holly is. She usually comes into a box with me, but she's not here or not here yet. I'm not sure. Staying the course. Sometimes recovery feels like walking through a storm that won't quit. Wind howling, rain pounding, and every step forward feels like two steps back. In those moments, it's easy to want to give up, to turn around, or take the easy way out. But stay the course is the word God's dropping in my spirit right now. It means don't quit when it's hard. Don't let the struggle fool you into thinking you're not making progress. Every day you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're winning. God doesn't promise the fight will be easy. He promises He'll be with us through it. He's that steady anchor when life's waves try to toss us away. But no, when you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Remember who you're walking with and stay the course. If you're listening and feeling beaten down, know this: you're stronger than you think. The next right thing is just ahead. Keep going. I'm super excited. I want to say too right now that I have my little physical copy. Amber, if you want one of these books, he sent me a few extra. They're really cool. They're just full of stuff like this. I think this is super important because like it's hard to like the more attention that we get like for every, you know, I don't know, there's negative stuff in my inbox too where you see negative people or people on Nick, I would give you one if you was close to me. If you tell Josh you want one, he will probably send you one if you send him your address. But you have to just not give up. Like I think the important thing is that when you attract like negative attention and stuff like that. I mean, like no, like when people are hating on you and stuff. I feel like that's the like the devil working against you, you know. And so you have to. Oh, he would definitely bring you one. Tell him that you want one. Um, you have to just I don't know, like work through it or like don't let it get you down. Don't let the devil get you down. I think someone said the other day that there's like a Bible verse, something like when you like do God's work, the devil is near or something. I'm not sure exactly how it went. I'm not trying to butcher it, but there's Tammy. She probably knows what I'm talking about. But like that's so true. Like when you start doing good, the more good at the first, especially it seems like things can sometimes get us down, but we just have to work through it. I don't um I don't like read these beforehand, and this has probably been up here for a few days too because I put them in front of each other sometimes. But I kind of needed to hear this today, so I'm really glad it's up here. I feel like it's some of it's cut off because they usually have a. Well, he said there's not. Oh, I'm read it in my book. It doesn't have scripture. I forgot I had a book. I don't know. I just think that it's important to just focus on like are we being organic and are we being authentic and all of the things. It's hard too because like when we come on here we like to be authentic and stuff and then people only like we only still want to share so much of our lives sometimes too. So but God is with us every step of the way. He never gives up on us. And this was a big thing in the live last night. Like they were talking about how, uh, you know, the footprint in the sand reads that there's one set of footprints during the storm, and we didn't know why, and it was because God carried us, and that's just He doesn't put more on us than we can handle, and He's definitely with us every step of the way. Yeah, for sure. Everybody worries about being judged, even people who don't care. Like, it's still, I don't know, winning. There was a time when I thought if I could just accomplish enough, people would finally see me. If I stayed clean long enough, worked hard enough, or stacked up enough wins, then maybe I'd be worth something. I let my achievements speak for me because I was afraid of what silence might say. But here's the truth: anything I build on ego will crumble under pressure. My worth can't be found in clean time, titles, or trophies. That stuff's nice, but it ain't the foundation because the moment it gets quiet, when nobody's clapping, when the applause stops, I still have to sit with me. And if all I have is a highlight reel, I'm in trouble. Don't let your achievements become your personality. They're not who you are. You're just proof of what God helped you overcome. If I get too caught up in what I've done, I might forget what He's still doing in me. I miss the point. I'll miss the point. I'll start performing instead of transforming. That's not why we were saved. We were saved to be made whole, not just to impress people with our glow up. God ain't after your resume, He's after your heart. So today remind myself I'm not the clean time, the job, the book, the platform, or the applause. I'm a child of God who didn't die in his addiction. That's the real win. I love this book. You know, I think that part of yeah, it's so good. Part of why too that I waited to get like into the recovery community and stuff too is because like we have to make sure that we are doing it for the right reasons and not just for recognition or like titles, trophies, all the stuff. And like we talked about being judged too, like yeah, so powerful, so powerful. I don't know if you can see the writing, but this is out of it's called The Flip Side, Different Sides of the Same Coin, written by the Dopeless Fiend. It's just Dopeless Fiend, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I have the up there. It's just Dopeless Fiend. But it's an amazing book. And I just there's so much stuff in there like this. And I don't know, like he shows up on time. He'll send me passages randomly. Like he still writes other things. He has another book as well. And it's just all stuff like this. And you can tell that he's really been in it. Like you can tell by the things that he says in his writings. I mean, that's why I read this book. I read out of it every day and just because they hit home so much. I think it's important to that we don't that we don't always flaunt clean time titles and trophies and stuff like that because like things are always interpreted differently. Like we're going to talk about soon on our evening live like how we define our recovery. So like it's easy for people to say like some people get on there and they some people that have been on Matt I know and then like wean themselves down they struggle like with their sobriety date and some especially some people that have been in certain programs that have I don't know made them feel certain ways about I just think it's so important too. I know I'm getting off topic. I just have it on my mind that it's so freaking important to like include everybody, to give everybody a space. Like I said, I made a video earlier about it, and because people keep telling me, like people keep being in the inbox and popping up here on the screen, and they keep saying how much like we're helping them, but all we do is listen. Like all I do is like even right now, I don't have the good words. I stumble over my words. I can't speak beautifully like some of the other people on my platform, but but most of the time when I start talking, people join in, people can relate, people know what I'm talking about, and then they open up and then they share or and so it helps them in some way. Yeah, yeah, like that all we do is give people a space, safe space. That's too many S's. Um, to just yeah, authentic. I don't know. I try. I don't have any more up here, so I'm just gonna leave this one up here. I was unprepared today with the podcast being right before the show or right before this live. Words are so freaking hard, man. And it's funny to see like how people other people keep saying I do great. I'm like but I'm blah 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 blah. Like I can hear myself. The next one in the book is Burnt Biscuits and it's one of my favorite ones, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. I've read it I don't know more than once already, but I'm going to do it anyways. You know what really burns my biscuits? When people toss around the phrase, you gotta change your people, places, and things. Look, I get the sentiment, I really do, but let me break it down. If a person is properly armed with the truth about themselves, if they've done the work, peeled back the layers, and faced the demons, then they can stand in the same streets they used to crawl through. They can walk through hell with gasoline drawers and not flinch. If their motives are clean and their spirit is aligned, but if but if I ain't done that internal work, if I just run from the scene of the crime without ever searching for the serial killer, then Alaska ain't gonna save me. I'll find a dope fiend in a fur coat quicker than I can say I'm clean. I'll be in some frozen igloo sharing needles with a penguin, telling myself this is peace, this is better. But it's just the same hell in a different zip code. You want to know what my drug of choice was? Any and more. If it got me out of myself, numbed the pain, or silenced the noise, I was in. See, changing your zip code don't fix the damn thing if you're still the same broken soul. Because real freedom doesn't come from running. It comes from standing still long enough to face your truth and then walking forward with purpose, not panic. Holly, where have you been? I love the burnt biscuits though, because I did change my people, places, and things. I did. Oh, I was just giving you shit, girl. Hey Veronica, welcome in, welcome in. Um, I'm just reading this book right now. I'm just kind of reading, talking about what they mean with to me. How kind of how Holly's here now. She usually comes up on the screen and just kind of chit chats with me. Usually we get talking and get off topic. Thank you. Do you have how much clean time do you have in, Veronica?
Yeah, we sure do, don't we?
Sorry, my stupid computer. 9:15:18. Congratulations. That's amazing. I do this live every day at 3, but at every weeknight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Saturday and Sunday. So tonight will be 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here in this room and we have like a topic center live. Sometimes we do spicy topics. This weekend we're trying to do some positive uplifting stuff because the beginning of the week we got a new debate coming on. So yes, thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, give me a follow. I'll do the same. I follow everybody that follows me back. 5 years, Michelle. Congratulations. So, anybody who's new here, I'm reading out of this book. It's called The Flip Side Different Sides of the Same Coin, written by Dopeless Fiend. Um, he's actually a friend of mine, but I believe in the. I chose this book to like. I reached out to him and asked him. He didn't. He became a friend of mine kind of because I joined. He was on my podcast, kind of promoting his book, and then I just loved it so much once I got reading it, and I was like, "Hey, can I read them live every day?" And he was like, "Absolutely." And so he sent me this. I just got it, and it is. He signed it, and I was so stoked to get like a signed copy of a book by author. I was like, I feel like I know a freaking celebrity.
You're getting there.
Getting there, right? You have a book too, don't you?
No, not yet. I'll be getting one.
You
I
okay,
told my husband.
Sissy? Hold on a minute.
I.
She's stuck under a horsey.
Oh, okay.
They have like this little rocking horse. I don't know if you've seen the videos of Jace like hopping. He like
Yeah.
rides it. It has rockers, but where he's kind of tall, he like hops around on it. But she's so short she can't get off of it, and she like fell.
Yeah, I seen the video of the kid controversy horse versus what was it? I never
Yeah, a
laughed so
dump
hard in
truck.
my
She
life.
was on a crane or a dump
Yeah.
truck or something. Yeah. Yeah, Amber, for
Yeah.
sure. I got you. I'll bring you one. I like it. It's just I want to read Nike hoodie because I know I got sidetracked and I didn't really even talk about the burnt biscuits. I love that because I did change my people, places, and things, and but you don't have to like and now that I have tools, like I said, I might have had some clean time in, but I haven't really been like working recovery for a while, for a long time, for the until really recently, like starting with like my podcast, and that kind of just got me going and feeling good about things. And yeah, and then I just start meeting people, and the recovery community has been incredibly like just supportive and welcoming, you know what I mean? And I don't know. But
Yeah, I
so
think I
now,
just post about you too, pushing you out there on my. I think I did it on my Facebook page. I can't remember. I got so many brain farts going on,
yeah,
Leanna, but I
I
just
did.
know that I push you a lot.
Did you seen the one for that Tuna did this morning? Did you get that? Did I tag you in that yet? I tagged a
The
bunch of people.
podcast.
That tuna, no tuna. Tuna does his own podcast, but on Saturday mornings he spotlights a creator that I don't know, that he likes or whatever, and he picked me this week, and he like shouted out our little room and dropped all of our times and did all this stuff for us, and I thought that was really cool. So then I tagged a bunch of people in it and said share it out, you know.
Oh yeah, I think so. But like I said, I'm on a lot of stuff, and I'm
I know
telling you,
something.
it's really you're getting out there, girl. I'm telling you, like I'm really proud of you. You're starting to spread all over.
I just want, I did Nick. That is a dag nabbit lie, because let me tell you what, I tagged everyone in it, and then I did a special tag for you, and I said I feel like I'm receiving awards, but I have to give a special thanks to Nick because he's an awesome moderator and he puts up with my shit and constantly changing times and all this. I said like some specific stuff. I tagged you specifically in it. Check like your TikTok messages. Yeah, I did, because I had Tuna specifically. I said I need you to mention James, because James is my guy, and
Yeah.
wouldn't be where what James does. A lot of times I'll be on mute dealing with the kids, and James picks up the slack. Or I had a
What?
migraine that day. I couldn't hardly talk. Like I couldn't do it. He keeps things flowing when I'm stumbly. He does have the words where I don't. And then I was like, Josh, I couldn't be here without Josh too. He does. He gives for the readings that I read every day and get out there. So, and then I was like, well,
Yeah.
there's other people, and I just start tagging people. Like,
Yeah, you got a definitely good support group with you. Like you said, you're new into. You've been sober, but you're just really getting into your recovery part, and yeah, I know I feel safe here with you all the time.
I'm glad.
I
I'm gonna
wouldn't
read.
trade you for the world.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna read Nike Hoodie though, because we got some new people in here, guys. If get ready to cry. This is the best story ever. And I like to read
I
it
think
when new
that's
people come in, when we get a couple new people, because it's probably one of the best ones and kind of traps you. Here it is. Josh is such good people. He pops in. So the guy that wrote this book, for those of you who are new here, he pops in sometimes. Like I said, he is a friend of mine, and so sometimes he will pop in. Yeah, 7:30 tonight, Nick. Um, but so Nike hoodie. Words from a dopeless fiend. No, I'm sorry. Words from a dopeless dope fiend. God sent a 19-year-old kid to save my life without either of us knowing it. Back in 2016, I was in a long term treatment center, still running on pride and ego. My sponsor walked into my room and said, Man, you got a lot of nice clothes. What's your favorite hoodie? Without thinking, I pointed to my brand new Nike hoodie with a tag still on it. He looked at me and asked, Do you want to get sober? I said, Of course. He said, Then donate it to the clothing closet. Now listen, I wasn't the giving type. I wasn't capable of a selfless act. If he told me who it was going to, I'd have made a show out of it. I'd have wanted to be praised. I would have made sure everyone knew I gave it up just so I could remind him later and maybe use it to get something back. That's who I was. That's how I operated. But he didn't tell me. He just told me to let it go. After some colorful language and a bruised ego, I did. Weeks later, this quiet 19-year-old kid shows up to group wearing my hoodie. He always sat near me and my boys, and I swore he was doing it to flex. I thought, this dude knows it's mine and he's rubbing it in my face. So naturally, I told my friends not to talk to him because back then, Josh was the center of the damn universe. Self seeking, prideful, always watching how things could benefit me. But after a while, the kid wore me down with his silence. One day I said, Hey man, you can speak to us. He looked at me and said, I'm just shy, but I really want what y'all got. That hit me like a bullet to the chest. I said, "Nice hoodie." He said, "Thanks, man. Can you believe it came from the clothing closet? It still had the tag on it. I've never owned a Nike hoodie before. I grew up in foster care and all I ever wore were hand me downs. I damn near broke. I went into the bathroom and cried like a baby. That moment wrecked me because God and my sponsor had set the whole thing up, not to embarrass me, not to punish me, but to teach me what real giving looks like. That kid didn't know the story. He didn't know that that hoodie used to be mine. He didn't know God was using him as a mirror to show me who I was and who I still had the chance to become. He got a hoodie and I got a new heart. He got something he never had and I lost something I never needed. And in that loss, I gained everything. Scripture. If you give what you have to the poor and do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Matthew 6, 3 and 4. Woo!
Yeah,
Yes.
that's definitely a good one. But
That's
every
my favorite. I think that's my favorite. He read that on my podcast, man, and I cried like, ooh, it still makes me tear up every freaking time.
well, because the littlest thing could just make somebody's day, and we don't
Yeah.
realize it.
Amber, I knew you'd be crying, girl. I knew it.
Oh, is she
Ooh.
in here?
Yeah, she's not Amber, my
Oh,
friend. Yeah.
oh, I thought you said Ember.
No, I
Yeah, your
think
girl
she's
that
the one
called you out.
alive. I saw, yeah, she did call me out. She, Ember, I think, is the one alive. I saw her live. She was earlier, anyways, during like my podcast.
Yeah,
But
when she invites me when it gets closer, I said, "Hey, I gotta pop out. Leanna's on. I gotta go." She's like, "Oh shit, did it?" you know, it happens.
yeah, that's a
So
good
did
one
you do that podcast earlier? Then with
with
a live podcast, right?
Tyler. Yeah.
I saw some of it, but then I dozed off because look, I've not been going to bed till
Oh,
early in
I
the
get it.
mornings.
I get
Their
it
shift
though.
sucks.
That Nike hoodie though, I love that passage because like he said, like that was me. Like I laughed so hard when he was like, I told my friends not to talk to him and stuff. Like, absolutely that was me. I would have been mad as fuck. And probably the only reason that he didn't say something to him was because, it was like in a program, like trying to work the program, like, and that would have
So
been
he
probably the
was.
only.
So Josh was in a program trying to get right at that time, and is that is that what I'm getting from it? He was just beginning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was just first in treatment and his sponsor made him give
Okay.
away a brand new hoodie, you know, and like with the tag still on it and stuff. And then it ended up going to some kid that grew up in foster care and had never had anything before. And yeah, so freaking
Yeah,
good. Such a good
that's
story.
fabulous. I just love that shit.
That is a real life story too. Like that's why I love this book. I guess maybe I just relate so hard to it because like I know Josh and I'm like, he
Right.
I love it when he pops in because yeah, not needing praise. And it's so funny, Veronica, because that's how Josh is now. Like that's why my husband likes him a lot because every time I will like get on there and I brag on him like about these readings and stuff or these passages and stuff and he will say I didn't do it, God did. And like when I reach out to him
Yep.
and I asked him, like he doesn't want me a lot of times to say like, oh, he wrote it. I always do call him out, but he doesn't like he's asked me not to.
yeah,
Sometimes I
he's a
can't
great
help
guy.
it.
Give I know we don't have to say it all the time, but man,
Here he
when
is. He is here.
is he here?
Hmm.
Josh, your
Yes,
ears must have been ringing, buddy. we had his ears on fire, Leanna.
we had a couple new people
Hey
that never
y'all.
been here before, and I just read Nike hoodie.
Hi,
Oh,
Josh.
hey.
How are
I
you
just
today,
got
sweetheart?
I just got done moving.
Did you? How'd it go?
Yeah. It was good. My granddaughter's with us, so it went longer than expected because she's, not about anything but her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. How old is she?
And then she's 6,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
for
I
sure.
spent way more money on she goes because my son went to go buy boots, and she's like, I'm going with Paul, and so she goes, look, we're gonna go get your stuff, then we're gonna go get my stuff, and I was like, okay.
Something
She
tells me
told
Paul's
you.
wrapped around her little finger. Hi, phony Melanie.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't blame you, man. My kids have me freaking suckered. Like you guys see how they like destroy my house, and I've like just watched them do it
Uh-huh.
a lot of times, and I'm just like, what's the alternate? Like, am I gonna make them cry, or am I just gonna clean up the mess? Like they're babies, you know. I'm like, fuck it. They're just babies
Kids will
sometimes.
be kids.
Yeah. And if I don't
Yeah.
let them like make a mess in front of me or where I can kind of like guide it, then they're just gonna go in the other room and like tear shit up when I don't even know. So like, I would just rather know, I guess.
Which
So
one are you
did
gonna
you?
read next?
Did
Um,
she get? Did she get you to get her everything she wanted, Paul?
Uh yeah, she got her something about is AOL dolls she really likes, so we got a few
Oh
of them.
God.
LOL dolls, you mean?
Or something like
I
that.
said AOL. I remember that shit too. Jesus,
AOL
Pete.
dial up. That shows your age. Yeah. I remember
Dial up.
them. I mean, yeah, the dial. Like, I'm the one that said dial up. Yeah, that definitely showed my age. I'm like, I remember that shit.
What's up, Nick?
No, she just read your Nike one, which was very
Oh,
tear jerking, and I don't know what she was
yeah.
going on to next.
Oh yeah,
That was one I had to write like 20 times before I got it right.
That's
Like
one
I
that's my
can tell the
favorite.
story. I could tell the story, and I've told it, but it was hard to write it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because when the way you tell stuff is different than what you write.
yeah, for
But
sure.
I try to make it where it sounds like a conversation.
Yeah, it's easier to tell stories. Like I have like some freaking stories, but and I've thought about at some point trying to put some in some form, but I'm like, dude, I just can't write like that. Like I can tell a story if I started telling my stories on here, like I could hold attention, but to write it down, I'm like, I'll butcher it, or I can't get my point across. Texting, I hate texting too. Like I'm like, they're like, are you mad? I'm like, no. Like I just, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how to
Yeah, we
tell
can't
them.
tell nobody's tone when they
Yeah.
text.
I'm like, are
Yeah.
you mad
Yeah.
or
I'm
what?
sarcastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm sarcastic 98% of the time. So sarcasm doesn't really, but I don't treat it like anything else. So I'm really being sarcastic, and people are like, "What is this dude saying to me right now?" I'm like, sarcasm don't really play out in the text message very good.
Oh, yeah. I know people are
No.
like, God, like you're an asshole. To me, like if I try to do, that's why
Yeah.
I don't. If I try to be funny in a text message, they're like, you're mean. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't. I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah.
good writer. I don't know. Josh, do you have I where I did my podcast kind of right before the show? I only had a couple picked out. So do you have a good one? You think?
Uh, I don't know. Incarceration's good.
What page is it on?
I have no clue.
All right, I'm gonna find it.
Pick one. It's like in the middle-ish.
Middle-ish. I love this book. I've probably flipped through I don't know how many freaking times since I was like, I guess I had a few up on the board, but then I was like, I still want to put all the ones I read up there every day. I just wasn't prepared today. So I was kind of glad that like the book came right in time for me to not be prepared for my
I'm glad they came. I was stressing it. I'll send you some more too. Now that I don't know my address yet. The dude that I'm supposed to pay my money to said I'll just get it from him Monday, or he'll get it from me Monday. I was like, okay,
Nick
but I was
said
going to
you
ask him
like
what my
live
address
right
is.
by him, and he said he wants one. I was like, well, I
Yeah,
might mail you one, and then he was like, he lives right by me. I'm like, well, shit, he could probably meet you
he can
somewhere.
come get one. Yeah,
Yeah, come get one.
he can go. There's meetings. I live in the Brady Center, so they turn the Healing Place turned the Brady Center into apartments, and so
Oh,
I
Do they
that's
moved
like
in.
cool.
pay him for your
He,
lodging?
no,
Oh, no.
but the where they have AA meetings is in the lobby of this building,
Cool.
so I don't have to go far for a meeting.
For sure. They're gonna love you there. They're gonna have
In
you
the
running the
comfort of
meeting.
your own home.
Yeah.
They're
It's right
definitely
beside the Healing Place, Nick, Brady Center on 10th Street or Main Street, right in the corner of 10th and Main. But I got to order some books, and when I get here, I'll tell you. Pick one. Pick that one right there. What's that
Yeah,
one?
I'm about to. Boundaries break down in the battle within. To my kids, I did
Oh,
everything wrong. Most of the time, I thought I was doing it for the right reasons. I tried to help everyone, tried to carry people on my back when I could barely carry myself. In the end, I didn't just lose my footing, I helped myself right back into a relapse. See, the people I was trying to help weren't toxic people, but they were toxic to me. Not because of who they were, but because of who I wasn't. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't know how to say no without feeling guilty. I confused enabling with love. I called it compassion, but it was my codependency wrapped in denial. So when I take an inventory, real inventory, I don't look at their stuff, I look at mine. My part, my patterns, my inability to set boundaries because I was trying to earn love or feel needed. And that's when I realized the only crack the devil needs is the one inside me. The disease is cunning. It will use our good intentions against us. It will keep us from telling ourselves hard truths. It will make self-neglect look noble. It will make a burnout feel like sacrifice. And before you know it, you are running on empty, spiritually dead and too drained to even call for help. That's when I had to learn a hard truth. To live selfishly is a luxury normal folks might afford, but not us. Not the ones with the disease of more. Not the ones who are restless, irritable, and discontent. Unless we are spiritually fit, not the ones who know what it's like to shake in our skin when the silence gets loud. The devil stays undefeated at the game when I play it on my own. Yeah. But here's the good news. I don't have to play it anymore. I pick up my spiritual tools, I work the steps, I create boundaries, not walls, but guardrails. I learn to love without losing myself because helping others starts with being spiritually healthy myself. That's not selfish, that's survival. Proverbs 25:28. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self control. When our internal boundaries break down, when discipline, spiritual safeguards, or emotional barriers collapse, we become vulnerable to attacks from within and without. The real battle isn't just with the outside world, it's with what we allow inside. Love that one.
yeah. That's basically my relapse in a nutshell.
I think I liked it when I saw it too. I picked because like it's kind of what me and Holly. I just was telling Holly the other day, like she was talking about like wanting to help people and all of this stuff, and I was like, and it was like stressing her out. And I said, I was like, you're still really early in. I said, just be selfish right now, like focus on Holly, and
Mhm.
you have to be like that in the beginning. Absolutely, we
Yeah.
do recover. Lee, my name's Leanna. I love that. Lee, everyone calls me Lee. Anyone close to me?
Yeah, like my whole thing is, I know I need to think about myself, but it's so hard because I've had such a big heart, throughout all these years, and it's really hard letting people down. I mean, oh my gosh, like it breaks my heart, but in the same sense, I'm like, okay, look, I already know how. I mean, I'm not to judge, right? But I still have that mentality because, of course, I'm so new. Um, I know those people out of that circle, and I know what they do, and it's like and I tell them flat out because I have to for my sanity. I'm like, look, if you need food, I got you. If you need something to keep you warm, I got you. Look, I got like 4 closets full of all sorts of different sizes, men's clothes, women's clothes. Like, I can do that way, but don't ask me for money, please. I just can't because I know where it's going to go. Is that so wrong of me? I mean, I don't know.
No, we have to set boundaries. Boundaries are so important. Like, I think, like, I don't know, if we don't set boundaries, we're just, I don't know, like, it's not good for anybody. We can't be good for other people if we can't be good for ourselves. And the best way to be good for ourselves is set healthy boundaries. Like, I know, there's certain people in my life that I just can't even hardly be around. Like, I'm working on, like someone said when we were talking about forgiveness that like forgiving them doesn't necessarily mean like have that I have to let them in my life and stuff like that. And so like I really like that because you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Shh, hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, the one you got up kind of coincides with the one you just read because
Oh, winning?
Yeah, because I had a $250,000 home. Every one of my kids had their own side by side, you know, uh, and I did it all. God didn't do nothing. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then I was a single dad, and in raising two teenage girls and two teenage boys, and that's hard. But I started, like me, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then some. You know what I mean? And I let my achievements become my personality, right? And then I didn't set up healthy boundaries with my kids, and they just kept taking and taking and taking until there was nothing left. And then they didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, but it was my inability to, uh, and I was making decisions based on emotions. You
I'd
know,
say probably
uh,
Mhm.
some guilt. Like I know that I'm bad for I don't tell my kids no. Like and like we go in and they almost always get a toy and I'm like, man, and it's because of guilt. Like and my two toddlers, like they've never even seen that part of me. Like I don't know why. I guilt and like
no.
I'm like, oh, I want them to have more than than I have, but I think guilt has a lot to do with my inability to say no.
Yeah,
So
my
does it,
adopted son saw me get shot at and everything.
Oh
You know what I
shoot.
mean?
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
does it ever go away, guys? Does it,
The guilt, shame, remorse? No.
like, are we always gonna, like, even though, say, okay, say we forgive ourselves for, all that we've done, right? But does it ever just go away where you don't feel guilty for not doing for others, or that, because I still feel horrible for all the things I've done, but I'm, early recovery. Like, and I think you got years in, right, Josh, too?
My my guilt and shame, like it pops in like it's an intrusive negative thought, and it'll pop in, and then I gotta kill it out. It's an ongoing battle, and it never goes away.
Okay.
Uh, but it goes away a lot. You know what I mean? Like it. But there's days where my doubt overrides my faith, or I'll start getting insecure.
Yeah.
Like during the day, I'll be full of confidence and insecure as hell at the same time. You know what I'm saying? My
Yep.
emotions will hit every spectrum on this spectrum board. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's ongoing. It's just ongoing. Like it. There's some days that are really good, and there's some days where I just like, man, I don't want to go around these church people. I'm not good enough.
So
Or
would
you
that
know what
be
I'm
our
saying?
mental health then, part of all this?
I mean, there's a three-part disease: it's mental, spiritual, and physical. So I mean, mental is always a part of it, but
Yeah, I know
I have
that.
to. But working the steps helps me, in the inventory that why am I feeling this way? You know what I'm saying? What am I being fearful of? Because there's always some kind of fear driving it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
So if I
fear.
identify what's wrong and why I'm thinking that, usually I kill it out. Then I tell on it. If I'm having a pity party, I just tell on it. Hey man, my sponsor, I'll call him one of my buddies. Like, I'm having a pity party, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my feels. Like, I'm not feeling like I'm not good enough to do anything.
Right.
I just talk about it and get it out, and then usually it
Yeah.
goes away.
Now, see, okay, so you said spiritually, physically, and mentally. Now, up north, they do emotionally as well. They say there's four parts to it.
Hmm.
Have
Well,
you ever heard that?
I mean, emotions are a part of our, but it's not. I mean, that's part of the mental. You know what I'm saying? I have an
Yeah.
emotion. It's not
Okay.
making emotional decisions anymore.
Yeah.
I make
I.
logic and faith make my decisions, but
Yeah.
emotions want to. They scream loud in the moment, right?
Yeah.
But they're a permanent storm, or no, they're a temporary storm. It's they're not facts. Emotions ain't facts.
Okay. Thanks. I needed that today, guys,
I want to read
because
the
I'm gonna.
inspirational to Josh's book. I was looking all over in the
Okay.
book about, I was looking for the story about Bob Marley and I found it. It's at the very beginning.
Okay.
Of
Let's
course, I didn't look there.
Yeah.
go.
It's literally on the, like, here's the front, one page in. Couldn't find it.
You
But
goofball.
yeah, it says, if actions speak louder than words, then what do my actions say about me? That's a tough question. If I'm being real, some of my past actions might have looked okay on the surface, but deep down they weren't so innocent. Most of the time, my motives were self seeking. If actions really do speak louder than words, then what do my actions say about me? That's a hard pill to swallow. Truth is, a lot of my past actions look good on the outside, but if you peeled them back, they were rotten underneath. My motives weren't clean most of the time, I was just out for me. That's human nature, right? Survival mode, fight or flight. A gazelle don't stop to see if his buddy made it when the lions attack, it just bolts. Maybe later he looks back, but in that moment it's only about saving himself. That's me. If I don't stay on guard, that's why I got to check myself every single day, my motives, my emotions, my heart, no days off. One of my favorite stories is about Bob Marley. The night before a peace rally, he was shot in an assassination attempt. Two bullets. Most folks would have stayed down, called it quits, but not him. The very next day, he walked out and hit that stage. And when they asked why, knowing he could be killed, he said, "The people who are trying to make this world worse aren't taking a day off. How can I?" He took that stage shouting lyrics like "One Love," "Fighting on arrival," "Fighting for survival," and "Don't worry about a thing." A powerful demonstration on how not to take a day off. That right there cuts deep because when I take a day off from God, from growth, from recovery, it ain't harmless. It's one step forward, two steps back. The second I let selfish motives slide in, I start patting myself on the back for what I've already done instead of pressing into where God's taking me. And the second I justify that first break, I know the next one will be easier. Before long, I'm not moving forward at all. I'm drifting. God's already got the blessing lined up. The destination's waiting. The only thing blocking it is me choosing my will over his. So when the devil leans in and whispers, "Relax, you've done enough. Take it easy." I hear Bob's words echo louder than the lies. How can I? Scripture. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. Prayer. God, I know how quick I am to look for shortcuts and excuses, but you never take a day off from loving me, protecting me, or guiding me. Help me stay faithful when I feel tired. Remind me that every step with you moves me closer to the blessings you've already prepared. When the enemy whispers, let my spirit shout back. How can I? I love it. That's why we do these lives every single night, guys. Like that is literally why. Because that's absolutely right. Like the devil don't take a day off. The naysayers and the people creating the stigma and the shame and all of the stuff, the intrusive thoughts and the possibility of relapse and the triggers and all of the things, they don't take a day off, so we don't. That's why I my phone number is in my bio. It people reach out to me all times. Sometimes I encourage anybody, if you reach out to me through text message and I do not respond right away, if it's urgent, call my phone because I don't always hear text messages. It's like a little chime. But if you're immediately struggling, call me. I don't mind because absolutely, like I said, none of that stuff takes a day off. And I don't know, and it seems to me like if when you would take a day off, then I would feel like somebody, the moment I do, that's my luck. The moment I'm not here, somebody's gonna need a space to share, or something, struggling. And so we do this every day. I try to be on here more than once a day, if at all possible. We're working on doing a few more things. Me and another creator are trying to come up with maybe doing a women's group once a week. We thought that would be a good idea. And then I'm thinking about maybe doing like a morning live, something positive every morning or something. I don't know, but I try to be
That's
on here
good.
as much as possible because I just I want to be readily available. I've done so much. I put so much negative and bad out into the world when I was in the chaos that I feel like I can never really totally make up for. So this is just me trying to make some of it right, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Amen. What's up, Dan?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Um, no, I was just listening, and yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I struggle with the most is those ants, those automatic negative thoughts that kind of pop in my head. I mean, I could be in the best mood, and then just like something just clicks, and I just start thinking all these negative things, and it's taken me so many years to realize that they're not who I am. They're just negative thoughts that I have, because I mean, I have a lot of a freaking trauma, like being neglected, and a lot of crap from my childhood. That my self esteem and everything is just terrible. So it's like I always think negative about myself, you know, regardless of what's going on around me. But yeah, it's a tough thing to. But like Josh says, it's just like a constant battle. Like they don't go away. I just, again, with mindfulness and everything, I've just practiced over the years and putting my faith in God and His will, not mine, because every time I put things in my will, then my motives are not good. They're always greedy, or they're always selfish, or they're always, I always have to check myself why I'm doing things to make sure it's not for my own will and for just, maybe just for the sake of other people to help them, or, not trying to get something in return, or, it's a whole mess, the mental psychology of things. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day. I just hopped in to see what was up.
Hey man, always glad to hear from you, Dan.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
For sure. And negative thoughts, I think they're really common, especially for those of us that have experienced trauma. Like you said, you had childhood trauma. I myself had, been in relationships where, negative things were said to me over and over again to where they became my thoughts and things like that. And it's hard to get away from that. Even now, even, that person particularly I haven't been with for over, 10 years, and still they pop into my head. Like it is really an everyday battle. Like it never does go away, but you just have to learn to fight them off, you know what I mean? And some days it's easier than others too. I don't know if that's the same for everybody, but
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's
I, go ahead. I
yeah,
thought
no,
you
I
were
was just
done.
gonna say
Sorry.
no. I just, I don't know if that's the same for everybody, but I feel like if some days it's easier for me to be like, oh, shut up, to that voice in my head, and then some days it just fucking screams.
Yeah, I've wrote about this 4 or 5 times. There's a couple in that book and a couple in this one. I'll read this one because I don't think you read this one before or seen this one. But it's when the noise won't stop. We demolish arguments, every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. 2 Corinthians 10:5. If I've had a lot of intrusive negative thoughts lately, the kind that show up uninvited and start rearranging furniture in my mind. They whisper old lies. You're not enough. You'll never change. God's done with you. I used to believe them. Now I just recognize them. Because here's the truth. Just because a thought shows up doesn't mean it belongs to me or that it's even true. Those thoughts come from old pain, from fear, from guilt that's already been forgiven. They come from an enemy that hates the fact that I'm learning to walk free. When they come, I don't have to wrestle with them anymore. I can replace them. I breathe, slow and deep. I remind myself that that's a thought, not a truth. Then I speak back what I know is real. I'm redeemed. I'm loved. God hasn't left me. He's right here. This is this is what it means to take thoughts captive. It's not about pretending they don't come. It's about not letting them set up camp in my head. Step 10 reminds me to keep taking inventory, not just for my actions, but my thoughts. Because if I don't check what's going on upstairs, those old lies will rent space in my head and start charging me interest. Step 11 teaches me how to quiet the noise. Prayer and meditation aren't about escaping reality, they're about aligning with truth. When I slow down and seek God, the volume of my thoughts goes down and His voice gets louder. If the noise won't stop today, take a breath, take a verse, and take your power back. God didn't save you to live stuck in your head. He saved you so you could walk in peace.
Yes. Like they said, the enemy has no reason to attack if we're doing the enemy's work. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
They keep coming. I just keep fighting them back. Voices. Sometimes the voices in our head ain't from God. You know what I mean? They're the voices of guilt, shame, and remorse. The lies.
I think that's what Dan said. He said we lie to ourselves all the time, but it's having the wisdom to like distinguish the lie and the truth. And I think that's important. And that's what I said. Like sometimes too, like them voices in your head, they'll be sneaky. That's what I'm talking about when I say like sometimes they're so loud. Sometimes they be sneaky. Like you have to. It's the devil. The devil is sneaky. He's smart. Like we like to think of him as like like a bleb, but he's really smart. He knows he can weasel his way in if we're not careful. Yeah, sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah, that's why I always try to give compliments out nonstop all day because it takes. A psychologist actually said this to me. It takes seven positive comments or affirmations or thoughts to overcome one negative thought. So think about how many positive compliments or comments you've gotten today. One, if none, you know what I'm saying? And if you're isolating, you're definitely not getting any. And so if you have negative thoughts in your head, to counteract that one negative thought, you need seven positive ones. And so if you're not giving them to yourself, you're going to need other people to give them to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why positive affirmations are so positive or powerful because and never I never miss an opportunity to give somebody a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like it swallow your pride and just be like, hey man, nice jacket. Oh man, I like that hat, man. That's a good haircut. Oh hey, you're beautiful. Good job. I like that picture. It's a great picture of you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it costs nothing to do that, and
Costs
it's
nothing
hardly
to
any
be
time.
kind. Yep.
Yeah, and it doesn't take any like effort really. You know what I mean? Like if I walk past 100 people and I didn't say anything to anybody, man, I'm not doing God's work. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like I should have, just hi, hello, how are you doing? It's something positive, at least.
Yeah,
Just
I
walking
do.
past and ignore people.
My husband, like, he has like social anxiety, but like when we're out places, I'll be like, my kids, they say hi to people, and I'll just like walk up and, let them talk to the babies and stuff. And I just like talk to everybody. And like, especially like older people than babies do make their freaking days. Like, it's some, yeah, you don't never know if they might have grandkids they don't get to see or whatever. I don't know. As long as, I know we have to be careful. And yeah, I know like within reason, all the stuff, guys, but like it makes their day. It really doesn't. It doesn't take, doesn't take anything. I like that.
Yeah, it's in the book. It helps somebody.
And like you said, if you walk past 100 people and you don't say anything to anybody, then like, I thought this was all supposed to be about like connection. I love that. I didn't realize that like you said seven. I know I've heard you say that before, but I guess it never really hit me like that. Makes so much sense why the recovery community, like everybody's so positive. Everybody's always so, thank you so much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
grateful and positive. Most people, most of the people that you come across in the recovery community, not all, of course we always got those people in there that whatever whatever, but most of the time people are, you know genuinely kind. I found in my
Yeah.
experience, I guess.
And just think if you like, even if you're just, bullshitting around, you give somebody, hey man, you're looking fat today. It's going to take seven now. It's going to take seven positive comments for him to get over that one negative one.
And you
And
don't
how
know.
long does it take you?
I
Go
was just
ahead.
gonna say, you don't know like what he may struggle with, like body issue. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
some things that you say to certain people, like if I say, something to you, it may not bother you, but if they say it to me, you know what I mean? Like it may really bother. Like there might spark something in my, or your trauma. Either way, you know what I mean? Like it might spark something from our past that they may not know about. Like, well, you never know what people have been through or are going through. Like little tiny comments like that can really freaking, tear somebody down. Even if you're joking, like once you put it out there, like you said, it's so hard to get it back. Like,
Yeah. We all have insecurities. Every single one of us. I've never met a human being that doesn't. So, and we're guys, so we don't admit it. You know what I mean? Like we shrug it off, but really, come on, man. Like I know better now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a bullshitter. Like I'm an artist of it, and I talk a lot of sheets. You know what I'm saying? But but I had to catch myself. Like, what am I really? Am I harming? Just for a quick laugh. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really helping. So
yeah, like what's the cost that you're gaining? Like, what and is it worth it? Like you're gaining just a
yeah,
laugh and at the cost of their feelings, and it's not worth it. And I was mean and like not really mean, but like just oh my god, I can't even think of the word. I don't know, like just a bitch.
arrogant,
No,
arrogant.
disrespectful. I don't know why I couldn't think of
Uh,
that.
Smart,
Arrogant,
like smart
arrogant.
ass.
Yes, all the
yeah.
words, all of those fit. Yeah, that was completely me. And like I had to really like see like that. I don't know. People have feelings. I don't know why I didn't fucking understand that in my addiction. Like that everybody has feelings, and I don't like it when people say mean shit to me. Like don't just just do what you want people to do to you. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking that
Yeah.
simple. Like, but you couldn't have
Yeah.
told
And
me that.
just seeing people sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Just recognizing and seeing people by saying, hey, man, what's up? You know, that is sometimes that can just be as powerful as saying, you're pretty or, you know, nice coat or nice hat. You don't, it doesn't have to be a compliment like that. Just, hey, man, what's up? I see you over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
Like,
how are you? Or
yeah,
anything. Like just, just for them to feel like somebody might care. That could save somebody's life. Like it really could too. I'm not being dramatic. Like it could literally save somebody's life. I think it's so
you
important.
can
And
definitely.
I hate it that I was like that. Like I just, oh, makes me sick now.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I'm guilty, so I understand. But they always talk about our part, and Dan, you can speak on this too. So, like, our part might be minimal, right? But it's still a part. You know what I mean? Like, I can choose not to do anything for anybody or not say anything to anybody. You know, when something happens to somebody, you got to take a look at your part. What did you do? What kind of positive things did you bring here? You know what I'm saying? So if we're bringing stuff to the table now instead of taking from the table, that's got to be a part of it.
yeah, I used to. I'm not sponsoring anybody now, but the last person I sponsored, um, her, I'm not going to get into it too much, but eh, something was done to him that um, he necessarily it was the wife cheating on him, right? And he didn't know. It was like, well, what was my part in that? I'm like, well, you have to look into it. Maybe like, and again, this doesn't justify that she cheated on you, but maybe you were neglecting her. Maybe you were, like, there's a lot of things that you can come up with, like my part, and it just goes with everything. Like, even if it's like someone steals from me, maybe I was careless with my shit. Maybe maybe there was things that I could always find that were my part, or maybe I just, and how we react, of course, is always our part, like, uh, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I don't,
No,
total
you're
brain
good.
fart.
Yeah. No, yeah, makes sense. Sometimes it's our part is you married a wrong person because you were doing it for the wrong reasons, you know, or social instinct because you thought like I've dated girls just because like look she's hot, she's a shitty person, but guess who's gonna look good? Get me. You know what I mean? Not only will I'll get her to like me, I'll get her to fall in love with me. You know what I'm saying? Like that is some cruel, rotten to the core stuff. But I've been guilty of that stuff in the past. You know what I'm saying? Because it does something to my instincts, my social instincts. You know, it helps me. It makes me look good. I think.
Yeah, it's like vanity, and it's or,
Yes.
like that. I think it's vanity.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say. It makes you feel good, like, oh, I could get that. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's like maybe pride too. Who knows? But I think, but I will say, like, kudos to you because I've heard you say that you're like, he said, I'll be friends, but I don't want nothing else. Like, he's taking time for himself. So that's big to learn that,
Yeah.
to come back from the, I don't know.
Yeah. It is.
Well,
It's
glad you,
one of my character defects. You know, when I first got sober, uh, you know, they talk about character defects. You know, so well, Josh can sleep with whoever he wants, he'll stay sober. Like I really believe that, right? But it played a role in my relapse, right? Because it was a pretty little thing who had some dope. You know, it was like, well, I mean, why would I say no? You're naked. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like that. Why didn't you ask that 20 minutes before? Like, why are you taking this long to ask me if I want some of that dope? Yes, I do. Of course I do. You know, this is going to be a lot more funner now. You know,
right.
but and it's just a character defect. You know, I was trying to fill a hole. I replaced drugs with well, I didn't replace it, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
still a character defect. Yeah, like it's got to be progress. And I was like, well, I'm gonna like my son telling me he's talking to this girl or this that. And he's like, I guess I take after my pops. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh my god, I really regret. Like I said, that's so wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I was wrong for doing that stuff. You know. He's like, yeah. I can't tell him nothing though. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna have to find out his own way. But I'm like, I could have been a better parent and not been so selfish. But I was looking out for me, not for them, and you know, not setting a good example on how to act as an adult, all the time. Like I did pretty good 80%, 75% of the time, but the other 30% I did so bad that it took away from that 80%.
Yep. It's like too the things that our kids pick up on are like the worst things that we don't want them to. Like, you know what I mean? Like instead of like I don't know, getting like, you're very kind and care, like all that stuff. Our kids pick our bad. And my oldest daughter, she does that. She wants to be just like it's like when our kids are like my toddlers, they'll cuss. Like I'll get them to try to say things all the time, and they won't do it. But then I'll say shit or damn, and then they're shit all day long, and I'm like, stop, like
It's true.
yeah, like the
Well,
Yeah.
and
worst of worst things.
here's we're all doing the best that we can. You know what I mean? Like with the tools given, and it's I don't know. We're
I can
it's
honestly
hard to
say I am now.
yeah, like because I hate when I hear people like, well, I could have done better, whatever, and this and that. In hindsight, of course, but it's like in all reality, we're all doing the best that we can. Of course, like when we have the motives to want to do better, but we only know what we know, and it's just I don't know. So it's a tough thing, but
Yeah. It always talks about on all our fares. Well, I left some of my fares out of that equation. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to do it in 75% of my fares, and the 25% of my fares, Josh has a right for those. You know what I'm saying? Like I can, I deserve, some vanity and pride and sexual misbehaviors. You know what I mean? It's crazy that I thought that, but uh, what brought me back to the rooms, and now I know better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. And it's like that, and we all do it. We try to justify everything. At least I know I do. Like, oh yeah, I
Uh,
definitely deserve this, and I deserve that, even if it's harming some, or not necessarily harming, but not really just the right way to go about things. But I can justify anything in my head. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
oh, I deserve it this way because of this happened, or I deserve it because of this. Like I can always justify it and spin it in my head. But
yeah. And we're always helping or harming. We're always doing. There's no in between. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. We're harming something or somebody or ourselves. You know what I mean? It might be in a small way. You know what I mean? But it's still, if you're not helping them, you're harming them.
But you know what, Josh? God had a plan for you, and you steered away
Yeah.
from him, and he had to slap you in the head to get you to listen, I guess.
He did.
But it
He did,
worked.
man. It
It
worked,
worked.
bro. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm listening.
All right, guys. Well, we've been on for
Today.
an hour eight, and my kids are driving me nuts. So we're gonna get off and spend some time with them before 7:30. So we will be back tonight at 7:30, guys. Thank everyone for being here. Thank you guys for all the gifts and the heart meets and all the stuff. Josh, thanks for being here as always. Thanks for the book.
You're welcome.
Hi.
You're welcome. Hi.
all right.